Sleep. Are you getting enough? One of my most common conversations that I hear amongst the people that I work with is that they wish they could get a decent night's sleep. Do you remember years ago, maybe you don't, that when you had a little tiny baby, your world revolved around how much food you could get into this baby, because how much food you got into the baby equated to how much sleep you were getting. And our conversations as young mums revolved around how many ounces or how many minutes did you feed for and how many hours sleep, and did he or she go through the night? Sleep was a great obsession. And then for many years, things sort of sorted themselves out. We got back to getting more sleep, and then you got teenagers and you couldn't get them up. And now suddenly it's all about our sleep. And whether you're getting the right amount of sleep and the kind of sleep you're getting has a massive effect on how you're feeling at this midlife stage. So what I thought I would do is put together, I've got 7 kind of handy tips to help you think about with regards to midlife sleep. And some of them may be useful, some of them may be something you did know, some maybe you just need a reminder, and maybe some you didn't know. So first of all, why is sleep so important? Well, of course, you can't function without sleep. You can't go to work, you can't do what you need to do. And in fact, if you haven't had enough sleep, for many of us, it can be quite dangerous depending on what your type of work is. If you haven't got the cognitive function to make decisions, if physically you're exhausted, that's going to have a massive effect on how you function in your day-to-day life. But from the midlife woman's point of view, not having enough sleep can play havoc with your hormones, and unfortunately when your hormones are going up and down, that can play havoc with your sleep. And so it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. So it makes sense to understand that in order to feel better and more vibrant as a midlife woman, you've got to start somewhere, and sleep is one of the first places that you can start with. So first of all, can I just explain to you that if you sleep better, you're much more likely to make decent and sensible food choices. Your leptin and ghrelin, your hormones that go up and down, ghrelin says I'm hungry, leptin says I'm full, thank you, I've had enough. If you don't have enough sleep, those hormones, instead of being exactly where they are and not making you desperate for any kind of food, get all out of whack. I've done a video on it before, and you can go back and watch that if you want. So it makes sense to know that if you get enough sleep, then your hormones are going to be stable and you're not going to make the wrong food choices. If you're not making the wrong food choices, you're not going to end up putting on weight. If you don't end up putting on weight, then your hormones stay more balanced. So it's a bit of a vicious cycle, but we're going to just start with a really simple what can you do to get a better night's sleep? So number 1, and I know that many women across the world, or certainly the modern world, are really guilty of this, and I can see it. No screens for 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. So that's no iPod in bed, no Chromebook. I've got a new Chromebook, shiny new Chromebook that needs all sorts of passwords and added into it. It's very tempting to take it to bed with me and think, oh, I'll do that. No screens before bed. There are 2 reasons for that. One has been slightly disproven. One is that the blue light that is emitted from a screen affects our sleep, our melatonin, and the depth of level of your sleep. Although there was a study that said that that's not true. And also you can get these rather strange glasses that you put on which filter out the blue light. But I think more importantly, when you're reading something on a screen, particularly if it's social media, your brain is still getting that dopamine fix from, oh, I've got a notification. Oh, let's see where so-and-so is on holiday. Oh, somebody's written me an email. Oh gosh, I've got to reply to it. So instead of calming down and doing something that is getting your brain ready for sleep, you're staying in this hypersensitive, hyper-aware state. So there's 2 reasons for not having screens before bedtime. So that's number 1. Number 2, evening exercise. Many of the people that I speak only have the ability to exercise in the evening because you're working full time during the day and you've dragged yourself out of your office, you've put your kit on and you've gone and worked out in the evening, which is fantastic. But unfortunately, there is a negative side to that if you have difficulty with sleeping. And that is that because you get really hot inside if you do a big workout, that can affect your ability to get a decent night's sleep. So please don't stop exercising. I'm never going to say that, am I? But if you are an evening exerciser, when you come home after you've exercised, have a warm bath. And the effect of a warm bath, the warm water on your skin, is such that your body centre cools and you are more likely to get a decent night's sleep. If you can combine that evening bath with Epsom salts, you're going to get an added hit of magnesium, which is also fantastic for helping us sleep. When you get yourself into your bedroom, having turned off your screens, had your cooling bath, have a cool room. However warm the rest of the house is for our day-to-day life, and I do like my house warm, your bedroom should be cool. So even if you just crack the window open in the winter months, enough to get some cool air will definitely help. Ditch any kind of plastic nightwear. Some people I know go to bed with nothing on at all, but whatever you wear, make sure it's cotton, bamboo, natural fibres, so that you're not going to end up being very, very sweaty. And possibly it may be time to go down a tog or two on your duvet. I know you can get winter duvets and summer duvets, and summer and winter ones that click together and make you ultra warm. And maybe you've always had that particular type of duvet. Is it time to look at going down a tog so that the bedclothes aren't quite so heavy on you? And some people, particularly those of you who live in tropical or hot countries, may choose to have an air whirring fan above your head, or perhaps a fan beside your bed. So that's a good idea. I mentioned magnesium from Epsom salts. Magnesium topically on your body, particularly good for aches and pains, but that's a good idea. You can get magnesium sprays and magnesium creams. Magnesium in an Epsom salt bath is also a good idea, helps to relax us. And magnesium-rich foods, so that's your green leafy vegetables, kale, broccoli, cabbage, nuts, walnuts, Brazil nuts. Some fish is good to have in magnesium. So do look up some magnesium-rich foods and think, oh yeah, I can put that into my diet. It's not going to change overnight, but if you add all these things together, they make a difference. So we've done the screens, we've done the bath, we've done the cool duvet, cool room, magnesium topically, and then thinking about your brain's ability to switch off at night. If you are the sort of person who's thinking, right, tomorrow I've got to do this, tomorrow I've got to do that, then it can be a good idea to have a little notepad by your bed and do a last minute to-do list. There's something about taking that out of your brain, putting it onto a piece of paper and thinking, right, that's great. That's consigned to that piece of paper. I'm not going to wake up in the night thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't do that. The other thing that helps your brain switch off is your daily dose of calm. Now, whether that's a yoga class that you choose to, can you ever go every day? I should suspect not, unless you're a yoga teacher. A yoga class or a Pilates class that perhaps is part of your weekly exercise routine, but also this ability to find a minute holiday somewhere in the middle of your day. 1 minute, 2 minutes, quiet, calm, standing in the trees, standing outside, maybe standing in a darkened room, or lying down on your sofa, just completely quiet, some utter switch off. Okay, same bedtime every night. Get up the same time every morning. Yes, even when you're on holiday. There's a lot of research that says if you take the time to go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time every day, your sleep in the long term will be much better. Alcohol does not help the midlife woman get a decent night's sleep. Yes, you might feel very chilled and calm, but the toxins from the alcohol are going to make your liver work much harder, and as a result you're likely to wake up feeling hot and flushed in the middle of the night, or potentially having palpitations. So ditch the alcohol if you possibly can, or maybe just reduce it. And then finally, HRT, hormone replacement therapy. Generally is made from yams. It's often plant-based, and if you are somebody who is considering HRT, wondering if it's going to be make a huge difference to your life, then do go and ask the questions, or pop on here and ask me. HRT for many people is a bridge to get them from A to B, and for some people is something that they start and oh my gosh, their life feels so much better. It's not something to be feared like people used to think so. So there you are. There's in fact, I think it was 8 tips for getting a better night's sleep in your midlife. I hope that some of them have helped. This email is 9 minutes 45, video 9 minutes 45. So I'm going to stop now and wish you a happy night's sleep tonight. Bye.